And we start off with the chip stocks getting hammered. The VanEck Semiconductor ETF plunging 7% today, its worst day since the start of the pandemic. ASML, Applied Materials, and Advanced Micro Devices all down double digits. Taiwan Semi also among the laggards, down almost 8%. The latest moves coming as comments from both President Biden and former President Trump indicate that trade tensions with China will, in fact, ramp up going into the elections here. So this is coming from all sides in terms of political parties, and that is having the impact on the chip sector. Trump specifically questioning whether the U.S. would actually defend Taiwan in the event of a Chinese attack. So it's really throwing some concern on this trade. The chip sell-off driving the Nasdaq to its worst one-day loss in December, 2022. The tech-heavy index dropping almost 3%. So does today's action mark the end of the red-hot semi trade, no matter what the outcome of this election? Guy, what do you say?
The end. Well, last night CQ was here. You were on a shoot, as they say.
Yeah, on assignment.
You were on assignment, as that's your want to be, and it broke during our show. And a couple things struck me: the comments about Jerome Powell and about the Fed cutting rates this year. But the Taiwan comments really, to me, were market moving, and I was surprised the market didn't move in the aftermath when we were on the show. With that said, as much as people want to say a Trump presidency is bullish for the market, maybe is. It's bearish for technology, and I think you're starting to see it on the edges today. So I think the seeds were sown again on June 20th when we saw that reversal, not unlike what we saw in early March, and I think it's going to continue for the foreseeable future. I mean, there's a chance that a name like NVIDIA can trade down to sort of between 102 and 105, which is not ridiculous given this move we saw back in mid-April or so.
I mean, chips at this point are really stuck between a rock and a hard place, so to speak, in terms of Biden saying our allies should tighten export controls in terms of what we export, what kinds of technology are exported, and then Trump saying about Taiwan, they took our chip business. I mean, either way, it's not good in terms of the rhetoric.
Yeah, so you can focus on the fundamentals. You can focus on the visibility that these companies have if we have tighter trade policy, right? And so again, nobody knows what's going to happen there. But I just say this: if you look at some of these companies that have massively outperformed, at least their stocks have. I mean, think about an ASML. They gave an outlook last night that wasn't as good as, let's say, some very optimistic people thought. That coupled with the geopolitical outlook, it makes for a difficult situation. Then you think about Taiwan Semiconductor. So ASML makes the machines that go into a fab that Taiwan Semiconductor has, and they have 85% of the high-end GPUs. Then you could draw a line to NVIDIA, and then you could start thinking about what all these hyperscalers and all these companies that are basically building servers to go into data centers that are basically going to service all these companies, And to me, I think we're probably ready to have a little bit of slowdown as far as the demand is there. We've had tens of billions of dollars of spend over the last, call it, year and a half or so. Until these companies start seeing what the ROI might look like, you might see a little bit of a slowdown. So to me, I think there is fundamental reasons why the stock sold off. I think people were looking for an excuse to sell, and then obviously the visibility issue.